Having swept this down as far as we can, it's now time to use our sucker upper and get out at the bottom of it. So I'm going to have Adriana pull on the sucker upper while I'm down here, sucking at the bottom, and you can watch what happens. All right, go. I see that big rock got stuck in there and made a clog somewhere because it's not pulling anymore. Yeah, right on the tip. Okay, so we wash it off. Back down here again. Okay, go. You want to be careful not to suck up too much at once because it tends to clog somewhere when you do that. Again, right here on the tip. And considering this might have gold in it, you don't want to just dump it anywhere in the river. You want to dump it someplace where it's going to come back out, where you're going to be sucking it out again. Alright. Okay, now on here. Go. You see, we're getting it sucked out, but we're not getting everything out of the crack because it's got a little bit of a pile of rocks stuck down in there. So we need to get those rocks wedged out. Once I get the hole clean, I'll come back with the bar and we'll finish that out. You see, I just sucks that off the bottom like that. And you'll pull the gold out too, don't worry. See the nice little piece of gold right in there. So we've sucked this out now and it's very clean. I'm going to show you just how clean so you understand what I mean when I say obsessively clean. Alright, so as you can see, this all had dirt on it a minute ago. We've completely sucked out every crevice, paying especially attention to all these little tiny holes in the rock because gold loves to get stuck down in there. Places like this, sometimes there's a little bit of packed dirt the sucker rubber doesn't pull out, so it helps to go back and just loosen it up and see if there's any gold under there. There isn't any. But there are some pieces that we've missed. Like I said, down here in this crack, there's some stuff stuck down in here. There's a piece of gold right there. I'm going to go ahead and suck it up with a snifter right now. And then a little piece down there, which I can't get out. So we're going to have to come back here now and take our bar to pry that out. So, start with a small bar, because it's easy to work with if you can use it. Just pry it in between those rocks. Now, this is a good place for gold to hide because it gets under there, under that rock, and it never comes out again. And naturally, being heavy, it kind of congregates down there. So if we can get out these rocks off the top, oftentimes, no one in recent history will have ever been down here before. So it's a good place to find little chunks of gold. You can't always get them all out, but you can usually get pretty close. Now the better way is to pop off the entire rock if you can, but sometimes, like this particular rock, is just too large and not fractured enough to make that possible. Okay, I think we've all got it clean now to use this just to scrape down there so if there's anything small in there. And then we'll let it clear. We'll come back and we'll use our viewer and our sucker upper and clean it out again. Another little piece I missed. Pull out the big rocks, because these won't go through the sucker upper. And pry loose these little rocks here. This may seem like a lot of work to go to, but if you went to all the work to get down here, compared to that, this is not very much, and you're likely to get as much gold here as you got the whole rest of the road put together. Now this rock here has a crack behind it, so this might break off and give us access to whatever's underneath it, which sometimes can be quite a bit of gold. See, there's a nice little piece right there, I think. I might have blown it off into the dirt there, but suck it up in a minute. But I can crack up a lot of these. And if gold ever came over this edge and dropped down, it would still be in here because there's no way for it to get out. And there's a place down here. So There's a little piece on the edge, I think. So we're going to do that to this whole rock here. I'll pry it all off. In place where it's loose. Not every loose rock has gold behind it because, first of all, gold has to have gone over that rock. And secondly, it has to be able to get in behind it and get stuck there. Before there actually been much gold. But sometimes I popped off rocks like this and had huge piles of gold underneath there, just carpeted with yellow flakes. Now this crack over here is a little bit different because it's a lot narrower. You really can't get in there with your burrow to pry into those rocks out. But this whole rock has a crack along right here and down here. And so it's quite possible that if I get some leverage back there, maybe I'll pop the whole rock off. So I'm going to grab my bigger burrow. That little one won't cut it here. And see if I can pop that off. Doesn't look like it. So I do what I can with the scraping. I saw a little flake of gold go by just now. You may have seen that. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this one off. It's pretty well in there, so we'll just have to do what we can do. You can't pop every rock off, and not every rock is worth popping off. But if you can get behind a good one that's got a nice thick crack that gold flowed over and got stuck in, it can really pay for itself to get it popped off of there. So that's basically the process of working the deep crevices. The small ones, you learned earlier, usually pay you better. But sometimes you don't have many of those, and you're still in the area, you still can work it, you still find good gold. It's just not quite as good a ratio. So I'm probably going to walk over here into this big rock next, because this looks like it was dropped some gold. And even if somebody had been working here, it might still have dropped enough to make it worth my time. And that's what I've been doing all summer, is just gradually working my way from one bank to the other along this path, because these little crevices make basically like a little sluice. You have a little riffle here, a little riffle here, a little riffle here. And as the water goes over it, it's like a large sluice just rolling over and over and over. And so you work down in there, it's like pulling out the little gravel out from behind each sluice riffle. It catches the gold. And it keeps them going down there. And that's why here you'll find a lot of gold, whereas right down there you're not going to find so much. Another set of rapids down there, you'll find another batch because it's another sluice. And enough gold flows past here, eventually some gets caught. The closer you are to the source of the gold, the larger the gold tends to be. But that's just a tendency, it's not an absolute law.